Let's talk about something that is, let's be honest, one of the most frustrating things for anyone making content. You pour your heart and soul into an amazing article, you hit publish, and then it's just invisible on Google. We're going to dig into why that happens and, more importantly, how you can fix it. You know the feeling, right? You spent hours, maybe even days, crafting this incredible piece of content. The research is solid, the writing is sharp, you publish it, and you're feeling great about it. And then, nothing. Crickets. No traffic, no rankings. It honestly feels like you're just shouting into the void. And this is the first hard truth we have to get out of the way. As of today, great writing by itself just doesn't cut it anymore. Google's algorithms have gotten so much smarter, especially with things like the helpful content update. They're basically designed now to sniff out and demote content that feels like it was just made to trick a search engine instead of being made for actual people. So let's start at the very beginning, from the ground up. We're talking about the technical foundation of your site. Because sometimes the problem isn't your writing at all. It's that the house you built for it is, well, kind of built on sand. This is, without a doubt, the most fundamental problem you can have. You could write the single best article in the history of the internet, but if Google's little search bots can't even find and index your page, well, as far as Google's concerned, it just doesn't exist. It's a ghost. Now, the good news is this is usually a pretty easy fix. Your first stop should always be Google Search Console. Jump into the URL inspection tool and see what Google is seeing. You can submit a sitemap, which is basically a roadmap for Google, check your robots.txt file to make sure you're not accidentally telling Google keep out, and add a few internal links so your new masterpiece isn't just an orphan page floating all alone. Okay, next up, speed. Let's face it, we all have the attention span of a goldfish these days, and a slow website is an absolute conversion killer. Google knows this, and they actually measure your site's performance with something called Core Web Vitals, and yeah, it directly impacts how you rank. And Google gets super specific here. It looks at LCP, which is basically how fast your main content loads. It looks at FID, or how quickly a user can actually click on something, and CLS, which checks if your page layout jumps all over the place while it's loading. You know how annoying that is. Just think about it from your own experience. If a page is slow and clunky, you're gone. Hitting these targets tells Google your site provides a good experience. And you have to remember, all of this is seen through a mobile-first lens. Ever since 2019, Google has used what's called mobile-first indexing. That means it's your mobile site, not your desktop one, that is the primary version for ranking. So if your site looks terrible or as slow as molasses on a phone, your rankings are going to suffer. Period. End of story. All right, so let's say your technical house is in order. The next huge area to look at is the content itself. Are you actually answering the question that people are asking? Are you giving them what they're truly looking for? And this brings us to probably one of the most important concepts in all of SEO, search intent. This isn't about the literal words someone types in the search bar. It's about the why. What is the real reason they're searching? What problem are they trying to solve right now? Generally, search intent breaks down into four main types. Are they looking for information, like what is a Roth IRA? Are they trying to navigate to a specific website, like typing YouTube? Or are they in research mode, comparing their options versus being ready to pull out their credit card and buy something right now? If your content is a deep informational guide for someone who's just trying to buy a product, you've totally missed the mark on their intent, and you're pretty much dead in the water. It's not just about matching the type of intent, it's also about depth. That whole helpful content update we mentioned, it's specifically designed to hunt down and demote thin content. You know, those articles that are super short, barely scratch the surface, or just say the exact same thing as the top 10 results. Google sees that as low value, and it will actively penalize it. So, does creating deeper, more comprehensive content actually pay off? Oh yeah, the data is pretty clear. One big study found that long-form content, we're talking articles over 2,000 words, gets a whopping 77% more backlinks than shorter stuff. And more backlinks tells Google that you're an authority, which is a huge signal of value. But of course, even the best, most in-depth article in the world can fall flat if the basic on-page SEO isn't there. Ask yourself, is your title tag generic, or does it actually make someone want to click? Is your article a giant wall of text, or is it broken up with clear headers that make it easy to read? These little things make a massive difference for both your users and for Google. And that leads right into engagement. A great title, like we just said, boosts your click-through rate, your CTR. That's just the percentage of people who see your link in the search results and actually click it. And get this, one study found that just a 3% improvement in your CTR can give you a real noticeable boost in rankings. It's a powerful way of telling Google, hey, over here, this is the result people want. Okay, so you've got a fast, mobile-friendly site. You've got amazing, in-depth content that perfectly matches search intent. You're almost there, but there is one more huge piece of this puzzle. Trust. Why should Google, or anyone for that matter, believe a single word you have to say? Google's system for judging this is called EEAT. It stands for Experience, Expertise, Authority, and Trust. It's basically Google's credibility checklist. They're asking, does the person who wrote this actually know what they're talking about? Do they have real-world experience? Are they a credible, trustworthy source? And look, building this credibility isn't some kind of dark magic. It's really just about showing your work. Have detailed author bios that list credentials, cite your sources, and, this one's huge, share your first-hand experience. Tell personal stories, show screenshots, include original data or a unique perspective. Prove that you've actually been in the trenches. Another massive signal for trust? Backlinks. These are simply links from other websites that point to your content. And despite all the crazy algorithm updates over the years, having high-quality, relevant backlinks is still a top 3 ranking factor. It's basically the rest of the internet giving you a vote of confidence. And this is where we have to have a quick chat about AI. Look, AI can be an incredible tool for brainstorming or making a first draft, but content that's only generated by AI, it almost always fails the EEAT test. It's generic, it's bland, it completely lacks the personal stories, unique insights, and genuine experience that Google is now rewarding. Okay, I know that was a ton of information. You're probably wondering, where on earth do I even start? So let's boil this all down into a super clear, prioritized action plan. Here's how you should tackle this. First, go after the quick wins, the stuff that's high impact but low effort. Make sure you're getting indexed, fix your basic on-page SEO, and double-check that you're matching search intent. Once that's done, move on to the core improvements, like boosting your page speed and going back to make your content deeper. And finally, the long-term game is all about consistently building authority by earning quality backlinks and creating truly original, expert-driven content. If there is just one thing, one single idea you take away from all of this, let it be this. In an internet that is absolutely flooded with generic copy-paste content, your biggest weapon, your ultimate competitive advantage, is your unique experience. The most powerful thing you can do is create content that only you could create. So I'm going to leave you with this question to think about. What's your unique story? What's that hard-won lesson or that unique piece of data that you have that no one else, and certainly no AI, could ever possibly replicate? Because that is the key to creating content that doesn't just rank, but that actually matters.